Hey everybody, welcome back. We are now in Daytona Beach. We've been here for a few days. It's been a little rainy, but still pretty nice weather. We actually toured the Daytona International Speedway, and we kind of thought it might be fun to do some game day food. We got beef sliders, we've got some spinach artichoke dip, we've got some chicken quesadillas, and then also we're going to do some barbecue meatballs. So we're going to do all those different things. And I thought it'd be really fun, especially since we're here. The Daytona 500, I believe, is next week. It'll already happen after this video comes out. But, the energy's in the air. So I'm really excited for this. And let's jump right into it. First thing I'm going to start here is making our meatball recipe. I've got about a quarter of a small onion here, chopped up, just small. You don't have to be super nice, but just get it roughly chopped. I'm going to do some chopped garlic. I'm going to do about a teaspoon or so. If you're like me, you like lots of garlic, more the merrier. Now I'm going to actually use this for our sliders and for our meatballs. I like to do this instead of just plain regular hamburgers because I think it adds a lot more flavor. So we are going to go, we're going to add 1 egg. I got 1 pound of beef, and I'm just going to split it up between the two. You could easily add to this recipe. You could do a couple pounds, or I don't think a half a pound would be good, but I think if you wanted to double it for a bigger family or party, 2 pounds would easily be good. So I've got that in there. I'm going to do about a quarter cup of breadcrumbs by eye. Also, I'm going to feel them as well. I also like to put Worcestershire sauce in mine. Nice little dab will do us. And I also like to put a little bit of A1. That's my secret. Now, don't tell no one that. So I put a little A1 in there just to give it a little extra kick. Always season. Don't forget, we're also going to season a little bit more towards the end as well. Looks pretty good. Now, if you are unsure, especially if you add more to this recipe than what I'm doing, a good way that we've always done to test our, mixtures like this is after you've mixed this in pretty good, is you take a little bit, make it like a little patty, and then you fry that off, give it a little taste. You want to make sure you mix it really well. You want it to get to where it starts getting like a little tacky. It means it's combined really well, it's going to hold really well together. See, it kind of sticks to the glove a little bit. You can hear it. Alrighty. So, there we go. Now what I'm going to do is switcheroo with my plate here. And we're going to do a nice even split here, I think. Looks good. So now, I'm going to take this, and we're going to split it again. If you had like an ice cream scoop or something like that, that makes this really easy. And then I'm going to split it again. Now from here you can start deciding, should I do small itty bitty ones? I'm going to do about that size. Actually, let's do a little bit more. This is probably a 2 or 3 ounce. This is probably closer to 3 ounce patty. So let's see here. Alrighty. So I think we're just going to go ahead and just do 4. Just make an even amount. And these will shrink a bit too, with the fat and stuff like that in them. Now, I'm not going to do caramelized onions. Normally I would do that for beef sliders. But I like to add onion right into my burgers, and they get kind of cooked, steamed, and caramelized all together that way. So All right, make sure these are all nice and formed well. Perfect. There's 4 sliders. See, they're pretty small. Next thing is going to be the meatballs. Now for this, I'm just going to pull some off. You just roll them in your hand like this. Look at that, nice little ball. Probably a little bit big, but that's okay. Now I use this recipe for every time when I'm making meatloaf, meatballs, burgers, anything ground beef and mixed, because I think it's a good mixture, and I find that just gives a lot more flavor to stuff. Okay, so we've got our 4 patties. We've got 2, 4, 6. We got 7 meatballs. We're actually going to start with the meatballs first. Those are going to take probably the longest at this point, and then we will move on to the sliders. So I'm going to go ahead and get those on. All right, just put down a little bit of oil. Let's get these suckers going. So we're just going to go ahead, get these cooking, and we're just going to rotate them a lot. Go ahead and get them all the way cooked around. The hood's going to help kind of steam them a little bit and get that inside nice and cooked. We're going to wait till these are about halfway done, and then we're going to throw on our sliders, because they won't take nearly as long. Because those are flat, since these are round, these are going to take a lot longer to cook. So we're going to go ahead, let those go in, and we're going to start on our spinach artichoke dip. Alrighty, we are now back. We are going to go ahead and start doing our spinach artichoke dip. This is very easy. I've made this a million times. Very popular at the country club, and I just thought this is a great game day, race day snack that everyone seems to love. So I've got roughly about a cup of chopped artichokes. You can just do canned, no big deal, or you could do frozen. I prefer canned, but personal choice. I've got about a half a cup of chopped water chestnuts. They give a great mouthfeel, so that way it's not just all soft. You get a little bit of crunch in there. So we've got that. Next thing, I've got about a cup of chopped frozen spinach. Now, the important thing for this is to remember when making spinach artichoke dip, whether you do fresh spinach, frozen spinach, whatever, is it's gonna have liquid in it. Probably hard for you to see, but I'm squeezing out a lot of liquid here. And that's what's gonna really affect your spinach artichoke. You want a good dip, make sure you give a little squeeze. Even a little bit of squeeze is better than nothing. But the spinach holds a lot of water, and it destroys whatever dish you're making if you don't go ahead and try to press it out. Alright, so we're gonna get that in there. Alrighty. I've got about 6 ounces of cream cheese. I've had it sitting out for a couple hours, getting nice and soft. You can also throw this on the in the microwave, I should say. Alright, so we've got the cream cheese and all that in there. Next thing we're going to do is go ahead and we're going to do some sour cream. We need about a 1/4 cup of sour cream, a 1/4 cup of mayo, and about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. That's pretty easy to do. And I love recipes that have, you gotta have the sour cream in there. I think the sour cream and the cream cheese are very important in this aspect. That looks just a tad more. I think you gotta give them that proper creaminess. Go ahead and not contaminate the mayo. So we're gonna do roughly half a cup. That's pretty close. All right. So go ahead, add both of these in there. Next, we're gonna get our half a cup of Parmesan. Well, in this case, about a 1/4 cup of Parmesan. That's okay though, it won't affect it too much. And you can use different types. I've seen some people, mix in mozzarella. Some people do Parmesan Reggiano. All right, we've got a little bit of granulated garlic here, and we're gonna do about a teaspoon. One more pass here. A little bit more. That looked a little light to me. You don't want to do chopped garlic just because it can be kind of chunky and you're not really cooking it. It won't break down at all. So this will give it a good thing. All right. Nice amount of black pepper and good helping of salt. All right. Now we're gonna start mixing. And if you find it just a little too hard still, you can go ahead and just throw this whole bowl in the microwave, if your microwave's big enough, of course, and that'll help just loosen everything up. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing. Oh yeah, look at that already coming together. And everyone's gonna be impressed, especially if you whip this out yourself. No one else, a lot of people just buy it because it's easy, but really, I mean, this took what, 5 minutes, if that? So the important thing here is make sure you get that cream cheese broken up, because if you don't, then it'll just be a giant glob, and that's not really that good. At least to me, it's not. All right, look at that nice color going on there. As you can tell, though, it's still raw, so we just want to keep rotating. Just keep rotating. I might turn it up just a little bit here now. Smells great. Trying to get nice color on every side. And we're gonna go ahead and throw on our little sliders. Get those going as well. Okay, the last thing we're gonna work on here, kind of the last minute thing, is we're gonna make some mini quesadillas. I have some taco shells left over, and these make perfect little mini quesadillas where you can cut them in half or in threes when we used to do appetizers. So, we are going to get these all ready. Real simple. I've got a chicken breast here that's left over from the other day. And all we're going to do is do a couple nice strips. I mean, this is this easy, classic. If you wanted to get real fancy and you were making this just for quesadillas, you could do a Mexican, spices and herbs and stuff like that. You can make, a little bit of cumin and coriander, things like that. But honestly, a lot of times when we made it at the country club, we just use this chicken. Or you could do pulled chicken, where you take some chicken broth and then add said seasonings, coriander, cumin, chili powder, and the chicken, and then you cook them in the oven for a few hours, and then you can pull it. And that's a really nice way to make chicken tacos, pull it. Keeps it pretty moist, get that flavor, add some jalapenos, some fire roasted peppers. Oh, okay. So, nice and, real simple. These are great, especially you got kids coming. That you will be the favorite person. You will be the hit of the party. I promise that. So we're gonna do about 3 slices each. Right there. Well, we only got a little bit. Let's go ahead and throw it on there. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit more cheese on top. Fold these over. Okay. And then we're going to go and have everyone hang out at the griddle. Let's see how the kids are doing. Oh yeah. Look at those beautiful sliders. Got that great color. We're going to go ahead and scoot them back a little bit. We need to make a little bit of room for our quesadillas. Meatballs are looking good. And we're just going to finish these meatballs. We're going to toss them with a little bit of barbecue sauce. And then you could throw toothpicks. You could do whatever. So go ahead and get the kids all together there. Here we go. Plenty of grease on the griddle, so we don't have to get too crazy with that. And we're just going to go ahead push those down, and the you don't want to keep moving them around too much. You want to get them set because you have more of a chance of things falling out at that point. Now you could get real crazy. You could add different vegetables and things like that. But these are really nice snacks, especially for a big game or something going on. Graduation even, great snacks for that. So I think everything's got probably in the next 2-3 minutes. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna get the slider stuff ready for you. And we're gonna get ready to start building us a big old platter. All right, let's give her a little peek-a-poo. Oh yeah. Now it may seem a little bit soft, but once the grease kind of goes away, it'll harden right up. Oh yeah, look at that, nice color. Oop. Hope if I can grab it. There we go, nice looking. Sliders are pretty much done, and the meatballs feel really good as well. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pull off the meatballs, and we're gonna get a little barbecue sauce on them. All right, we're gonna let the slides are almost done. Go ahead and move those back away from the heat. And actually we're gonna turn it down real low. So we're just gonna let these cruise on until they're perfect, and we're gonna start building everything. Okay, meatballs. We're gonna toss it here with a little bit of Sonny's barbecue. This is the smoking one. It's got a little heat, a little kick. Sonny's is a southern barbecue chain that we enjoy quite a bit down here. And so when we can come down here, we get their barbecue sauce. You can also use a little bit of Sweet Baby Ray's or whatever you like. I personally like this, especially on these meatballs. You can go not super heavy, because remember, it's gonna warm up and you're just gonna end up wasting it. But make sure you toss them though, it's like wings. Look at that nice coating. Alrighty, so we're gonna put these aside and start building our sliders. Now, I couldn't find any slider buns. That's okay. So instead, I put a thingy on there and can't open it. Alright. So instead, I've got these rolls, which we've done this before, easy peasy. So we're gonna go ahead, slice them in half. Now you could toast them. I don't generally toast them, but that's personal preference, just like anything else. And I don't know how many sliders we've done. I've probably done thousands, tens of thousands of sliders in my time. And everyone tastes just as good as the last. Okay, so I prefer a little mustard, ketchup. So before I do the sliders, you get them ready. So that way you can just, as soon as the meat's done, you can throw them right on. So we got mustard, ketchup, a little bit of American cheese, some pickles. Normally I would do caramelized onions. Whoop, new jar. But again, we mix that onions in, gonna give that great flavor. I like pickles, so I'm gonna do a little extra. And I'm not going to say sorry for it. Let's go get our sliders. Look at that, perfect fit for these little bad boys. Take one slice of American cheese. You can do whatever cheese you'd like. This is just classic. Silly goose. How did I do that? Okay, that's fine. I made a mistake. I did bottoms and bottoms and tops and tops, but that's okay. They're gonna taste just as good. Alrighty. Thank you very much. We're gonna go ahead and put these on some plates. Unfortunately, I don't have any toothpicks. That would make this extra easy. Okay, there we go. That's what we're looking for right there. Okay. So look at those sliders. All right, now let's get those quesadillas. Oh yeah, look at that back edge there. Nice and crispy both sides. Go ahead. I'm gonna get these cut up. All right, you pick the best side that you like, and I'm just gonna cut these in half. You could cut them in thirds, but I don't think that's necessary. You can serve this with your favorite salsa, sour cream, maybe a little pico. All those things would be great. Whoop, somebody tried to escape. Put that back in there. Little guacamole wouldn't hurt either. Go ahead, get this nice little triangle set up. There you have it. We've got a great array of dishes here. We've got our American sliders, we've got our chicken and cheese quesadillas, we've got our barbecue meatballs, and we've got our spinach artichoke dip. These are great for a party, race day, game day, whatever you might like. Easy stuff that is really going to impress your friends, and I'm glad to share this with you today. So hopefully you enjoy it. Thank you for coming along our journey. Keep eating.